Hello YouTube, I'm BOINGtheGamer and welcome to my channel where I play games and create geeky videos. Today's honest review, God of War Ragnarok. Ragnarok released for PlayStation 4 and 5 November 9th, 2022. It's developed by Santa Monica Studio and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. The game is a direct sequel to 2018's God of War and continues the story of Kratos and his son Atreus. The road to Ragnarok's release has been tough. Several issues during development, the whole COVID pandemic, and Kratos actor Christopher Judge's health problems pushed back the release several times. But the game is here and boy, what a game it is. I'm going to give some minor spoilers here to explain the story, so if you haven't played the 2018 version or you don't want to hear about Ragnarok, then I suggest you skip into gameplay section right now. I'm gonna give you guys a little recap, but you can also watch the official one in the main menu of Ragnarok. Anyway, here we go. So 2018's God of War introduced us to Kratos, who now lives in the north, completely settled down with a family. But his wife has died, leaving Kratos and his son Atreus behind. Together they go on a father-son journey, fulfilling the last wish of his late wife. While doing so, they run into all sorts of trouble and face the legends of Norse mythology. On their way they meet several interesting characters as well, like Mimir, the smartest man or head alive, the brothers Brock and Sindri, a pair of dwarven blacksmiths that help out the boys a lot, and you also run into Freya, Odin's ex-wife and mother of Baldur, the main villain in God of War 2018. Kratos and Baldur become enemies, however Freya feels responsible for all the bad things that happened to Baldur, making him who he is today. So she offers that he kills her. Yeah, I know, it's a crazy story, but Kratos steps in and snaps his neck, preventing Freya's death. Freya is filled with anger and grief, swearing she'll have her revenge on Kratos. Eventually, they split up and Kratos fulfills his quest, while a new mystery about his son pops up as they find a prophecy about Atreus being Loki. Now that we had this little recap, we get into Ragnarok's story. It's a direct sequel and Kratos and Atreus are still working on their father-son relationship, completely with teenage Atreus mocking Kratos whenever they disagree on stuff.
What did you talk about when you met? Like, did you just say... Woman, guard the house. I will go to catch fish in the river. And then leave for 5 days?
No. Your mother was far better at fishing than I.
The game really succeeds at capturing the dynamic of how tough it is to raise a teenager alone who's likely to become a godlike warrior just like his dad, the God of War. I use the word warrior because that's what his training is making him. His powers are increased and you even switch between father and son for some interesting gameplay. Anyway, the boy's home is protected by magic because Freya is out there hunting them, aching for revenge on Kratos for killing Baldur. After a wild intro, they get a visit from Thor and Odin himself, as seen in the vision of Atreus at the end of the previous game. Now Atreus is on a secret quest. Yes, even secret from his dad. If he abandons the search for Tyr, who ties in with Ragnarok, and the guys promise to be good from now on, then Odin won't send his wrath upon them. Anyway, things go sour and negotiations fail. After a long debate, dad and son agree to find Tyr, explore more Norse realms and stop Ragnarok with preferably kicking Odin's butt. I won't spoil more of this story as it is an amazing adventure to explore for yourself. This action-packed adventure hack-and-slash single-player title remains faithful to the previous game and succeeds as a worthy sequel with a lot of improvements. Even so that Ragnarok has been praised around the globe by critics and gamers for its storytelling, visuals, characters and overall design. Again, there's a lot of traveling and exploring, there's puzzle solving, finding treasure and fighting all kinds of fantasy creatures and of course meet interesting characters. This is a father-son journey with a purpose. The main goal is clear, but you can take on several side quests. Again, you are joined by Mimir, the smartest head alive, which even drops tips and tricks whenever you seem to be taking too long to solving a puzzle. I know some people argued about the fact that Mimir spoils too much, thus lowering the overall challenge in God of War, but I don't agree. I prefer my questmates helping me out instead of googling my progress and reading more spoilers or just figuring out a stupid puzzle for about 30 minutes. Again, Kratos wields the Leviathan axe, his double chain blades and his shield. You fight combo based combat which can be customized in talent trees. This lets you create sweet combos to destroy your enemies, and I do mean destroy. Blood, gore, decapitation, cutting bodies in half, it's all here. For a few times whenever I finished an enemy, I found myself yelling "Fatality" at the end of my combo. Anyway, the battles are great, there are lots of the same fights, but with just the right amount of diversity, forcing you to switch weapon and tactics. Beside combat, the weapons are also used to solve puzzles and get you over obstacles and stuff like that. The Spartan Rage has been upgraded as well, with now 3 variant powers to fit different styles of fighting. The shield also got new abilities, so yeah, the combat is one of the major parts that improved. I love how you can switch weapons, even if sometimes it's forced. I think it's great to switch between the axe, the blades, the shield, or Kratos' fist. Atreus is still focused on his bow, and he can still be commanded by Kratos to fire at will. You can find health stones or power-ups to aid you in battle too. Again, we get those RPG vibes with the whole ability to explore the realm and go drift off doing side quests. You still collect items to craft armor or upgrade your character in a lot of different ways. Controls and movement run pretty smooth. However, I do feel like sometimes these action cutscenes have moments that feel a little bit off. There's a few scenes where your characters travel in a sort of vehicle and you need to push 1 or 2 buttons to do some sort of action, whether it's rowing your boat really fast or hitting big guys on their head in the midst of a fast train ride. Some movements felt a little slow or awkward due to the fact they just wait around for the player to hit the action button. Again, not a big issue, but yeah, there are some moments in combat where you're doing a combo and there seems to be a split-second break before your next move or finishing off the enemy, and it just caught my eye. But again, no biggie. The visuals are amazing and the cutscenes run great, even on my dinosaur, aka my PlayStation 4. It's probably also the best looking PS4 game to date. I know a lot of people got worried this would hold back the power of the PlayStation 5, but yeah, I think it turned out quite okay. Although I will admit, after seeing some comparison videos, there's only little difference between the 2 generation consoles. God of War Ragnarok is a worthy sequel to the 2018 title, a somewhat similar game that feels, looks and plays familiar to the previous God of War. But with so many new features, updates and improvement that God of War Ragnarok feels like I'm back home with the boys, ready to set out on a whole new adventure. I honestly think only a few games have succeeded to go beyond the original release and keep high standards, and yeah, I honestly feel like Ragnarok did just that. So is it worth the hype? 100% yes. The father-son relationship between Kratos and Atreus shown in Ragnarok is a roller coaster. It's the best father-son walking, canoeing, wolf sledding, realm portaling, no car, road trip ever. Sorry, a goofy movie. Anyway, some moments are tough, sad, but also teach respect, the strength of family and bonds of friendship. And even some hilarious moments when father and son disagree and Atreus ends up mocking or impersonating Kratos, or Kratos himself giving a funny answer, maybe even tell a joke in his low-toned, serious god voice.
Heimdall. There's a name I don't miss hearing.
No one said it until you did, just now.
The overall design is amazing. The world itself lives. The visuals are stunning, the soundtrack is a perfect fit, and the characters might differ from actual mythology and history, but again, this whole product is like, mwah, chef's kiss. This is still an honest review, I'm just very positive about God of War. Playing the game is satisfying, it feels rewarding. With a 30-hour main story campaign, there's still a lot more to do in terms of side quests. The amount of action, adventure, puzzle solving, and combat feels just right. The RPG vibes are a nice touch, and the overall game feels like a finished product, which is pretty rare these days. I don't think I need to get any deeper into Ragnarok, but yeah, explore the story for yourself. God of War's take on Norse mythology is a bit different than you might be used to, but it's a great tale of adventure. Sure, nothing is perfect, and some gameplay or mechanics feel off, but there's no real bugs or glitches here. What about you? Will you join Kratos and Atreus one more time, or skip this adventure? Let me know in the comment section, and while you're at it, hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoy my content. Your support really helps the channel out. So, thank you for watching, and see you next time, YouTube.